Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. If you've just came across this channel, my name's Shona. I am 25. I have a 7-month-old son and I'm married to a shepherd. My channel's called The Unconventional Farmer's Wife because we don't actually own a farm. My husband works as a shepherd for someone else. So yeah. If you like the sound of that, keep watching. I'm going to be putting videos up about that farming life, about parenthood. The next video is hopefully going to be a grocery haul, talking about prepping for lambing in the current climate that we have. I'm having to do a monthly food shop, which I've never ever done. So if you like the sound of that, just keep watching, please. I'd love it if you would subscribe. That would mean the world to me. So this video is mainly just for my own memories, really. It's quite hard to remember everything anyway. So this video is going to be about my birth of my son. I mean, he's now 7-month-old, so I might not remember it. So I was due on the 6th of September 2019. I had a normal, straightforward pregnancy. Very, very lucky to have that. And then I always thought he was going to be early, just had this feeling he was going to be early. We had a few issues in pregnancy to the end where Teddy stopped moving. So I had to go and get it checked. I went the second time and we ended up having a scan just to check on him, and he was all okay. But I always felt like he wasn't happy in there. Like, that was never founded, but that's how I've always felt. I've always thought he wasn't very happy. But anyway, it came to the 27th of August. And for days before, it was a bank holiday just before that, and me and my partner on the Monday, the 27th was the Tuesday, we decided to go to KFC, and I had this pressure down there, just constant pressure, and the day before that my bump had clearly dropped, but I thought maybe it'll still be a while. I mean, we were 10 days away from my due date then. I thought it can't be anything. And then on the 27th of August, I had nothing. It was very weird. I was very exhausted, which was normal with pregnancy, but I could just sleep forever, and I napped all morning even though I'd had like a 9-hour sleep that night. So I got up, and one of my addictions in this pregnancy was chicken burgers. So I went to put some chicken burgers on about 1 o'clock when I could be bothered. I just got up. I went into the kitchen. And this is a bit graphic, and if you don't like graphic things, you should turn off. I'm going to talk about graphic things. You're watching a birth video. And all I heard was this pop, and felt this pop down below. I was very confused. I was like, might not be anything. Started waddling to the bathroom. Luckily, our bathroom was downstairs. And I was like, wait a minute. This isn't stopping. They always said you'd know when your water's gone, but I never believed them, and boy did I know. So I went and sat on the toilet. I don't think that's what you're meant to do, but I was still confused because I had no pains, nothing. I had nothing that would tell me that this was about to happen. So anyway, I rang my husband, who was at work doing a big job. I can't remember what he was doing, but I remember thinking, please don't happen today. Joe's got a big job. And it happened, didn't it? So I rang him. I said, don't worry, might not be anything, because I'm quite a dramatic person. We'll just wait and see. I'm not in any pain. Sat on the toilet, waited a bit longer, stood up, and every time I stood up, it just kept gushing. I rang him back. I was like, no, this is my waters. And he was like, do you want me back? Oh, I've got like a few hour work to do. I said, I'm not in pain. I'm not scared. Don't come home yet. Just do what you need to do. And that was that. And we lived next door to Joe's parents. So then they came back from shopping. I told them, and they were like, oh, we can take you to hospital. And I was like, no, got no pins. Fast forward a few hours till Joe got back. I rang maternity unit and they said, come in, we'll just check you. Because obviously contractions haven't started, but we'll just make sure it's your waters. Went in, they didn't examine me because I showed them my waters in the pad, and she said, yeah, that's your waters. There was a tiny bit of blood in there. She said that was normal because that was worrying me. That was just my show coming away as well. She said, if you, because I was given birth at a maternity-led unit, so she said, if you don't get any contractions or any sign within 24 hours, you have to go to the bigger hospital. So I'll give them a ring and then I'll ring you and I'll let you know what time you need to ring them by tomorrow. So me and my partner went off and we didn't even know, but it was going to be our last little takeaway together before we became a family of 3. We went to our favourite chip shop and I ate chips and a smoky, and that was that. Came home and I remember Bake Off was on, so we were just sitting watching Bake Off, and these, like, what I can only describe as period pains just started happening. Nothing major. We went to bed about 10 and they were starting to get more sore. Not unbearable. Husband was like, I'm tired. I was like, go to sleep. This is going to take a while. Like, you know, you think first pregnancies and first births just take their time, don't they? How wrong was I? So, I don't know what time it got to, but I couldn't settle and they were getting worse. So, I was like, right, I'm going to download a contraction app. I can't remember what it's called, but I've still got it here now because I like to have it there for memories. So I was in quite a bit of pain, and it progressed, and I didn't sleep. I kept trying to. In the end, when it got a bit too much, I went downstairs to the bath, and this was my favourite position during labour. I was just leaning on the bath, and I was wiggling my bottom, and honestly, that was the best pain relief I could have. And because I'm so dramatic, I was like, I am not going to hospital yet because if I'm only a few centimetres, my husband will not be happy. I'm dramatic. Everyone thinks I can't deal with pain. So I was like, no. So I started tracking my contractions and they were only about 4 centimetres. No, 4 minutes, not centimetres, apart. But then this quickly progressed to like, they were lasting 2 minutes and like 1.5 minutes apart. Now, bearing in mind we live rurally and it's half an hour drive to our hospital, I went upstairs and I was like, Joe, we've got to go. Like, this is getting somewhere. You could tell by his face. He was like, I think you're being dramatic. So off we went in his car, which I can't really remember the car journey. Like, I always thought the car journey would be the worst bit, but I can't really remember it. So we got out of the car and I rang the maternity unit and I told them that I was there. And our hospital had 2 entrances, and because it's not a main hospital, it wasn't open. She didn't tell me on the phone that I couldn't go to one entrance, so I had to walk all the way to the other without any help. I wasn't offered a wheelchair or anything, which in my eyes wasn't good. Anyway, got up to maternity unit. I got in the room. The first thing I said, because gas and air wasn't there, I was like, Joe, they're not going to give me gas and air. And here I am. And there's no gas and air. What was the point in coming? Anyway, one of the midwives came in. I actually had a pool room. I was the only one in giving birth on that night, which is a like a good thing. If you want to give birth on maternity leave, you have to be low risk, but that's a good thing. They're a lot quieter, a lot less births, a lot more personal. At all times, I had a midwife in with me throughout my whole labour. I mean, it wasn't a long labour, but yeah, I did. I got offered the pool. Originally, I wanted to use the pool, but I didn't in that moment. I refused it. So she came and examined me, and I was chuffed, and it hurt. She was like, do you want to hold your husband's hand? And I was like, no. I'll be fine. And when she put her hand up there, man, it hurt. But anyway, I was 5 centimetres dilated, and I was chuffed. And she's like, you're in established labour. Now, that would have been about 3 a.m.-ish. We got there about 2:45. Then she came in again. She's like, Shoni, do you want gas in air? Oh, no, in between that, TMI. But I've read online this is because you're entering the second phase. I was like standing there and I was like, Joe, I feel sick. And he was like, well, don't be sick on me. And then I was sick and TMI, but all that chippy came back up. So after that, that's really when it kicked off. I don't know if that's a sign, but that's when it all kind of kicked off. I got given gas and air, but I wasn't using it properly. I didn't enjoy gas and air, to be honest. I don't think it made a difference, but that's just my opinion. Like, it's different for everyone, isn't it? So, I was given gas and air, but I wasn't doing it properly, so she gave me a mask. I originally didn't want a mask because I thought you'd have to clip it around your head, but it wasn't like that. You just held it on your mouth. She gave me that because I wasn't using the other one properly. But to be honest, I was more screaming, no, I can't do this on every contraction than I was with the gas and air. I was on all fours, rocking my hips back and forth, just trying to get through it. And then I realised I had to turn onto my back to give birth. I mean, I probably could have given birth on all fours, but in my head I was like, I need to be on my back. But that really hurt. Like, I've never been in any pain like that. But I wouldn't say it's something you can't cope with, because it's a different type of pain. You get in the zone with it. And I kept wanting to have, well, not wanting to, but saying I felt like I needed a poo. Now, every time I said this, like, do you want to go to the toilet? And I was like, definitely not. And every time I said this, they'd be looking. And that's when they knew. And then there was one point I said that, yeah, they knew. And so they got a second midwife in. And I remember at one point as well, digressing, they were like, Shoni, do you want to take your knickers off? And I was like, it was the gas in air talking. I was like, no, I don't. And they were like, well, we're not going to get the baby out any other way. So, yeah, that happened. So I got on my back. I don't know what time. It might have been 5 a.m.-ish then. But, like, time went so fast, I didn't even realise. So after that, I got my back. And I can't really remember this. I think I just started pushing. And I remember just pushing and, like, Joe said I wasn't very loud. Like, I wasn't screaming, but I was making noises and it felt really loud to me. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I really can't do it. I did a few pushes and I just expected his head to be there. And when the midwife told me it wasn't, I was absolutely gutted. So I think I did a lot of that. And then the midwife was like, he'll be born by 6 a.m. And jokingly said he might be born by 20 to 6. But she didn't think that would happen. It actually did. He was born at 5:41. So I did quite a few pushes to get his head out. It's like getting them past the U-bend, isn't it? It's not easy. That's what they talk about. And I remember just lying there thinking about one born every minute and thinking how the midwife said, use your strength in your body, not in your, like, moaning. So I just remember doing that, and I just kept pushing and pressing my legs down and pushing and pushing. And then obviously the ring of fire came, and they tell you to pant. And then he was born at 5:41, weighing 6 pound 3. He did a little, it's TMI, but it's true, he did a little poo as he came out. Luckily, he didn't do it while he was inside me, or else I would have had to be blue lighted to the bigger hospital, which was half an hour away. I ended up there anyway because they got his weight wrong and they thought there was something wrong, even though they made a mistake. But that's another story. I'm not going to go into that. That was dealt with. And yeah, that's what happened. Like, I didn't I feel like I didn't get much skin to skin with him when he was born, because he ended up in an ambulance in a car seat in the first hour of his life, which was really quite difficult for me. Now I look back and then you see pictures of women holding their babies just happy, and that didn't happen for me. I ended up at another hospital all day with him getting lots of tests that he actually didn't need, which I found out after. But the main thing was he's happy and healthy, and I can't thank the hospitals enough for looking after him and me and getting my little boy into the world. So yeah, I just thought I'd make that video. It's mainly just for my own mind and memories, but if you have any questions, please leave them below if you'd like to know anything else. Everyone's birth's different, and mine was probably quite a straightforward birth, quick birth. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.